Warning, this con report contains adult language, crazy panel schedules, unique cosplay designs, stressed out Xans, and a fun surprise. Listener discretion is advised. Spiraken Con Report, Animenext 2018. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Con Report. Spiraken's answer to most other con reports, where we actually talk about different conventions and how the attendees were, the designs of the con was, and if it's worth attending or not. I'm your host Xan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, bonjour, what's up?
Hey, it's Gretta.
Yes. We're back for another fun-filled con report. And more importantly, this is a fun one because a lot happened on this one at Animenext 2018. But beforehand, if you want to check out any of our earlier con reports, you can check them out at www.spiraken.com. You can email us at spiraken@gmail.com, or me personally at Xan, that's Xan at spiraken.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, iTunes, even on Spotify and YouTube. You can check out our stuff on there and just look up Spiraken. We're on some of those social media networks anywhere. And you can also check out our other shows, the Manga Review, Game Review, Movie Review, all that other stuff.
Did you mention we're on Twitch too?
Yes, we are on Twitch. I forgot we're on Twitch. Yes, where we stream various things. Eventually we have to figure out a way to stream other stuff. But I digress. So this is Animenext 2018,
Woohoo!
which happened June 8th to 10th in 2018 in the lovely, lovely city of Atlantic City in New Jersey.
I feel like we should say that kind of like the Wheel of Manga, like Atlantic City!
We could, but I don't think Jersey deserves that part of Jersey. It's Atlantic City. And this is at the Atlantic City Convention Center next to the Sheridan, which so you have all the cool memorabilia of all the different beauty pageant hosts. Also, you have the Crown, which everyone takes cosplay at, and it's a pretty big area. Now, this year, actually, one of the interesting things is that this was actually the lowest attended year in the last 5 years, which is kind of depressing.
It was weird, but it's a good con. It's worth going to.
Well, I think with everything going on, with all the management changes and everything, because there's rumors about stuff going on in the behind the scenes, which unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know what's going on, but someone is to blame.
Something's happening.
The one person I don't blame is the con chair, our friend Vince Avarello III, who is an awesome guy.
Vince, we love you.
We love you. We think he did a great job because he's now con chair this year, and I think he did an awesome job. Give him another year, I think it would be awesome. But, well,
we digress.
So, back to the point of the attendees. This year, you had a grand total of 11,026. Now, last year was 12,733. The year before that was 12,374. The year before that, the last year we were at Somerset, New Jersey, was 14,500. And then the last year before that was 11,940. So this is a dramatic drop in numbers. This is almost back to the first year I came where it was like 8,000 people. Hopefully, 2019, there's much more traffic and looks a lot better. I really hope not. I mean, you had some really good guests this year. I mean, you had Olaf, Shinji Aramaki, Caitlin Barr, Johnny Young Bosch, Caitlin French, Kenji Kamiyama, Marina Kawa, Kyle McCarthy, Mint, Bryce Pendenbrook, Juliet Simmons, a lot of other people who you know, and some of our regular cosplay buddies, including Doug Wilder. I know Charles Dunbar was walking around there somewhere. And
there were some epic cosplayers this year.
There were some epic, insane cosplayers this year. And the big theme was My Hero Academia. We saw everyone's favorite stupid electro guy walking around with the girl with the earplugs, ear jack.
Yeah, she was like the fan favorite, and my favorite, the floaty one. What's her name?
Gravity.
Oh man, I love her. And there was a couple women out there who just totally nailed it.
There was a lot of Froppy, which I'm very happy about because Froppy is awesome. I don't care what anyone says. Froppy is fun.
She's okay.
There was a lot of Froppy, though. And there wasn't... I mean, the other big standouts were, well, of course, you had a couple of... Do you know the way?
The way.
The way.
The way.
There was a group of awesome, great, amazing cosplayers dressed up as Bioshock Infinite, the entire cast. That was pretty cool. I love seeing the big sister, the little sister, and the big daddy. That was kind of epic, and they worked really hard on it. What else was there? We had...
if they're listening to this podcast right now, sorry for running through your photo shoot twice when we forgot a cord for one of our panels, but thank you for understanding and smiling and waving back at me as I huffed and puffed my way through.
There was a lot of other, like the My Hero Academia, there was 15 photo shoots going on. There was Revi's walking around. There was an Kira and a Tetsuo walking around.
This is probably one of my favorite conventions for photo shoots. In and around that center, there were beautiful places to like really
like
take
the beach?
Well, like the beach, the different like statues of the different crown moments, the beautiful like trees and grass and there's outdoor, there are indoor. There was that indoor tunnel passage thing.
Yes.
I'm not describing it well.
I know what you're talking about.
But it was like, there's a lot of places to take a beautiful, like, photo shoot.
I still think that it was a little better than Anime Boston. Though Anime Boston has the Boston Commons by Copley, which looks really awesome. This was pretty cool, though. I did enjoy it. So you had a lot of cosplayers. You had a lot of stuff. The dealer's room was pretty good this year. It wasn't great. As usual, same gripes as I've said. Not a lot of manga people were there. There was no Vertical. I was surprised. No Vertical. No Vertical was not around again.
Surprising.
But that was, I already bitched about that in the Anime Boston review where I talked about how Vertical was there and they've seemed to be jumping from place to place. There was no Funimation around. High Dive was there because High Dive was the one who was promoting this con and they're a big deal, so I'm kind of excited about that. But let's get to it, shall we? So we showed up on the 7th of June. Got our room. Our room was pretty good. Wasn't as good as Anime Boston where we were on the same floor. We were kind of high up, but it wasn't bad. And we were sharing it with a couple of friends. You had John McNally in charge of one of the fun panels, which is the... What the hell is this panel? It's the Do You Remember panel? No, it's the shit. I did not write his panel. Oh, Would You Rather?
Oh, and John, thank you. Super fun.
So yeah, he did his 2 Would You Rathers, the adult and kid edition. That was cool. We had our friend Bill, Bill just kind of disappeared. He just showed up and kind of poofed.
But had pretty good cosplay. Like, he was on point.
Yeah, he was going all out for his Fallout cosplay.
Yeah.
And then, well, I actually didn't bring any cosplays this year. I know, shocking. I didn't have anything. I mean, I had the new hat I've gotten. And actually, this year I was wearing a nice jacket. I was wearing a pretty cool jacket and some nice pants. I dressed kind of on point this year. It looked a little more game showy because I felt like game showy when we were there. Oh, one cosplayer who's not a cosplayer that we have to talk about, we'll talk about her later, is the MVP for the Insane Manga Challenge. A lady who she should have won. She would have won. She
totally is like our grand prize winner, though.
But she totally gave it away, which was cool. But, so, we get there Thursday, we have fun, we eat at the local spot, which is Ruby Tuesdays. We could have went to somewhere else. We could have went to one of the shops. Like, we could have went to White House Subs, went to Ruby Tuesdays because it's Ruby Tuesdays. Was close.
We were getting settled in for the con.
We walked around the boardwalk a little bit. We got some taffy. No, we didn't get any taffy. We just walked around, saw some of the broken down, failing hotels owned by certain companies and people who shall remain nameless.
Some of us took epic photos going on.
A couple of epic photos. So that was our Thursday. Then Friday, we got up, heard there was a couple of really cool panels. One of our friends, Zach Davison, the infamous and fun translator, who is he's Eisner Award-winning Zach Davidson, had a panel called Kaibu, the Supernatural Cats of Japan. He had that on Friday.
And Zach is just kind of totally cool.
Zach is really cool. There was cosplay pro wrestling happening. One of the big panels for Friday was otaku journalism, and there were some cosplayers walking around. We went to the dealer's room, we went to the game room, and that was our day on Friday because, I have to be honest right now, we spent maybe 2 hours on Friday at the con. We had a wedding to go to.
Yes, we did.
We showed up. Hey, how you doing? Talk around, get our press passes, walking around, smooze with people, talk with people, and then we poofed.
Then we got all gussied up.
And then we drove 2 hours away.
Yep.
To go to a wedding, and then we came back late at night. We could have went to the rave, though.
I believe we caught...
Sorry, it's the dance party.
We caught the last of the...
The dance party? Yes, we also could have went to Odabrew. We missed Odabrew.
At the end of it.
For those of you who don't know who Odabrew is, that's kind of a secret and Twitter thing. We're not going to get too far into it. But, so Odabrew so that happened. And some other news happened, some other stuff. We'll talk about that at the end, because there is some life-changing news. But, now Saturday. Saturday was our first day proper at Animenext, and I've got to say, it was a busy day because Charles Dunbar even said that I'm out of my fucking mind. Now, why? Now, this is a guy who does a panel like 40 weeks out of the year. He goes very crazy. He does panels. He goes to conventions. Runs around. He said I'm crazy. Do you know why he said I'm crazy?
Why? Why, Xan? Why did he say you're crazy?
Not because I'm doing panels, which is normal.
Yeah.
Not because I'm doing one panel or two panels.
No.
I did 6 panels in a row.
Yep.
They said you're out of your mind, and everyone's like, from now on, everyone's just saying the same thing. Like, yeah, you out Charles, because you're just crazy. You should have taken a break. But we couldn't do Friday. I said, give us Saturday and Sunday. And the awesome person in charge of panels who did a really good job, I'll wait them with that, and she was cosplaying. Well, she was cosplaying as some really cool characters, including the pink alien chick from My Hero Academia and the evil crazy girl with the knives, which that was really necessarily.
I'm sorry, she did a little too good of a job.
She was on point because she's also doing the mannerism. She's totally on point. Great cosplayer. She hooked us up with a bunch of panels just one day straight. Just wham bam, thank you, ma'am. So we had a lot going on. Unfortunately, some stuff we had to miss, but there are times when I just did panels and you walked around, so you saw stuff. And a couple of our friends, we saw their panels. So it wasn't terrible. Like the first one was Anime Burger Time with Evan Minto. I wish we could have gone, but 10 a.m. panel about burgers. It's really hard to get burgers at 10 a.m., I think.
It can be done.
Not in AC. Vegas, you can do it. Not in AC.
If you're up from the night before.
Yeah, but it'll be cold burger. You need a fresh burger. Burger. But while that was going on, we had our first panel of the day, which was literary anime series that are originally light novels. It is a revamped version of the original one. This one went a lot better than the last time, where I was just showing clips from different animes that had to deal with it. I actually talked about them. We refined them. The design work was great. We had a lot of very good interaction with the audience. They had a blast with it. The next panel, which was in a room across the hall, was one which was a lot of fun. You had to actually go back to the hotel room to get our prizes because we were giving away Umaibo!
Yum! Basically, if you don't know what an Umaibo is, stop what you're doing, go find it.
Or just watch Dagashi Kaishi, the first episode, and you see her cooking Umaibo because she's a crazy person.
Oh, so good.
But so the panel was Order Up Cooking Manga and Anime, where I showed a bunch of manga and anime where they talk about cooking and the process of using the recipes used in these mangas in practical application. So learning how to cook through manga. And the hilarious...
I think we should do that panel again because I got to eat all of it.
It was hilarious to see all the little mistakes and me covered in powder and all the things. It was kind of fun. A lot of people had fun. They were asking questions about it and they were recommending stuff. Ironically, afterwards, there was a panel that was right after us called Beyond Food Wars, the Culinary World of Japanese Media. It was in the same room as right after us. Apparently, they did not do as good as we did. People were like, they said, this is a crappy panel.
Ours was way better. We actually talked about the food, stuff you can make, stuff you can eat.
And also we bribed our audience, let's be honest.
A little bit.
But because of that, we went to another panel run by our friend, Doug Wilder, and that's AnimeCons TV Live, where they actually did a podcast live. Pretty cool. Also with that, you had Would You Rather Anime happening. Video game room, same as always. Not as good as the one in Anime Boston. Anime Boston, the room is a lot bigger and a little more spaced out. The one at Animenext is a lot smaller, a lot more compressed.
A little darker, too. Like, I felt like I was walking into, like, a gaming cave.
But both of them were, like, gaming caves.
True.
You need lights or something, or you just... Yeah, well, anyway. But the board game room, we couldn't find. It was not. This is the anime library. The manga library is still there. It still looks pretty good. But the board game room, it's there supposedly. We couldn't find it. Also, for the viewing room, the big thing was Mazinger Z Infinite, which we had seen already earlier this year. But it would be kind of cool to watch it again. From there...
I believe we had a panel at the same time.
Yes, we did. We had the Insane Manga Challenge, Part 8, Return of the Manga, which went pretty good. A lot of people were complaining, though, I put too much anime emphasis in there. So I think for next year, we got to pull back on like the theme music and stuff.
We'll adjust.
We'll adjust, make it work a little better. Now, another panel that happened was Apocalypse in Anime. That one was a little more... I didn't check it out because it was too reminiscent to my Manga Apocalypse panel, which was a long time ago. It was one of the first panels I ran at Animenext. I wanted to do it again, but I forgot about it, so it just seemed too close to things. But we got dinner, and then we had to go in because, unlike every other con, this next panel was done early, like absurdly early. And we're talking about from under the bed, hard anime manga. They did it at 6 o'clock. The sun was still out. And they said, oh, here's your panel. Like, wait, what?
It's usually always at like midnight.
It was early, but the best part was a voice actor, someone who worked on Get It to the Doji, was in the audience. He actually said, dude, if you want, I'll make scary noises. I have a panel later, but I'll make creepy noises. It was cool.
Just to give you a little insight from that, the from under the bed horror and anime and manga, some of it, not that it's too scary for me, but it like creeps me out to my core, and then mix that in with the amazing cosplayers, it's a little creepy. So some of it I don't watch. Some of it, while there are clips being played and things going on, I like to look at the crowd because you get a mix. You get people that are completely and utterly horrified. You get people that are like way into it, and as soon as the clip ends, they have torture on their face, like, no, keep playing, like they're completely hooked. So the voice actor, it was awesome to see his face just kind of like, his mind exploded and his face melted. He was squirming
awesome in his seat and was so uncomfortable. It was beautiful. It was just like, but it sucked because he had to leave early, so he left halfway through. Now, the other thing is, as we're showing these panels, we noticed in the background someone who's dressed up as Pennywise, which creeped everybody out.
A little too good, Pennywise. You were awesome. You were epic. I believe I silently screamed for security, but then a cosplayer showed up as a Secret Service agent, and I did not feel safer.
And then magically, as Pennywise disappears, suddenly a standee of Trump shows up. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but...
I think I need to start live tweeting during the From Under the Bed horror and anime manga.
You should do it on the Instagram account.
Done.
Hopefully we have another one during the day. That was a blast.
It was awesome. Everybody that came, it was epic.
Also, we had assistance from one of the oldest friends of the podcast, John Paul, a.k.a. Fightbait. No longer Fightbait. I'm hearing he's changing and making a new podcast. Maybe it's like Whiskey Thursday. Don't know. But John Paul was there. He helped us out, added some nice color commentary. He hadn't seen stuff since Baki. He kept bringing up Baki and Bao. So, well, Baki is Baki. So, Baki is love. Baki is life. From there, we had a little bit of a relaxing moment. Then at 8 o'clock, we had 20 manga recommendations for grown-ups. This is another one of our contemporary mangas. And the best thing about this one, the thing I was very surprised at, was that the panel was full. It was full, and there were people interested. It was all adults, and they were actually...
And there was really good dialogue. There was great... I felt like everybody was really engaged.
And I blew everyone's mind talking about Coliseum for 20 minutes. People were like, you're out of your mind. There's no way this exists. I'm like, no, really?
Yeah. And, Xan, if you recall, you were not the biggest fan of it in the beginning, the whole concept idea, and then you became a convert very quickly.
Yes, and then I read Volume 2, and I got very sad.
Yes.
No, Axe Bowman, why? Eventually I'll review this manga, and you guys will know why I love this manga. It's on the We Love Manga. It will come out. But, it was just cool. It's one of those mangas you don't know about. You're like, oh, wow, this is amazing. I'm excited. I really am excited to just... It's just one that gives me hope again. And it's a great recommendation because it's a contemporary manga recommendation. That was really hard because I said stuff after a certain point. So from 10 years ago, that really limits stuff. Because when I think 10 years ago, I think 2000. But anyway. So from there, as usual, we had the Insane Manga Challenge Adult Edition, our final panel. And that one pretty cool. Now, we have to talk about the MVP. Someone who actually works at Anime Boston. And she's known only as Peaches. She showed up in our third round, actually. And just put it this way, you know, in those cartoons or those movies where you got the one guy just hitting the buzzer, and knew the answer, just like that. Yeah, at one point we had to be like, look, triple or nothing. If you guys get it right, we'll give it to you. And she still got it right. So like, yeah,
Peaches is awesome.
Technically, she would have won. She threw the last round. She totally threw the last round.
Only because Peaches has a heart of gold.
Yes, she does. So this has been edited for later. Just want to let you know, unfortunately, we found out that a lady who's known as Peaches, who worked for Anime Boston, she unfortunately passed away. Yeah, she was an amazing lady. Apparently, a lot of people knew her, and she was really great.
Absolutely
but she was
amazing.
a darling. She was so nice and sweet, and it was good to see an older fan of her caliber still interested in the medium at her age. She was in her...
She will be missed.
She will be. So, we had her winning. She was amazing. She was great. And I'll be honest, it was cool to give away those prizes. They had fun with those prizes, the big plushes. Mm-hmm. They had a lot of fun with them, and now less plushes in the house.
And there were a few Omaibol that we gave away too.
We had a lot of Omaibol.
We had what I did not eat when left alone in the room.
Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, some of the news for later, we're going to have to figure out a way to get more Omaibol for next year, or next con.
We had a year to figure it out.
Yeah. So, then we have Sunday. Sunday is a more chill-out day, relaxed day. You still had a lot going on. Of course, the big thing we have to talk about is JoJo's Posing School. For all you people who want calisthenics in the morning, that is still super popular. Everyone's going crazy with that. You had Gaijin Girl Life in Japan, Animation and Animation, which is all about all those series about making animation. A gambling anime panel, which was supposedly not as good as our gambling manga panel from last year. Supposedly not as good. Because I was too busy watching He is a Char, a tribute to Gundam's most famous masked men. A panel about all the masked characters from Gundam, from Char Aznable to Zex Marquise, to even Captain Jabril from X. You had the Macross, the musical warfare, the concept of Macross as, well, Macross using music in its entire series to kill things. You have a brief history of the Edo period, and the other big thing was the Murano Kawano concert. Now, Murano Kawano is the lady who made the background ending music for Natsumi's Book of Friends. Not too crazy. All Out is the one I was interested in, because All Out was there, and they're the guys who did the ending to Mob Psycho 100, which I highly recommend if you have not watched it. We haven't reviewed it yet, but it is on the wheel to spin, because the psychic anime is pretty fun. Even though the daily life of Psyche is weird. Anyway, so besides the panels, the overall vibe of this one, like I said, 11,000 people. There were not as many people as there were last year. It seemed a little more loose, a little more empty. It wasn't as you can't move. I mean, this convention center was pretty big.
It was very big. It was big enough to host all the cosplayers in big, fluffy, beautiful dresses.
And there was a lot going on. There was a nice area. There was the garage was close because we park in a good spot in the garage.
There was the epic wrestling that was happening.
Yes, the cosplay wrestling that was also happening, and people were really excited about that because it's cosplay wrestling. And since he has abdicated his title, there was no Uncle Yo fighting for his honor. But it was engaging, and as usual, it packs the stands. Everyone loves just standing on the different tiers and watching down. There was a lot of people sitting around.
Charging their phones. Recharging their phones.
Because most people didn't have a hotel room that was across the sky bridge like we did.
Book early, people.
We had a lot of fun. We had a lot going on. Nighttime, not as good. We actually walked to CVS to get stuff, and that was a fun little death march.
We went as a group, and we came back as a group, and no one was lost.
Yes, I still think that we should have went to White House Subs to get some subs. Did we go to White House Subs? I don't remember.
I believe we were freaked out from the walk to CVS.
Oh yeah, my legs were hurting from the walk to CVS. I wanted to go to White House Subs though, but next year I'll go to White House Subs.
I will say there was some good shopping nearby.
Yeah, there was. There was a lot of stuff going on. There was the Con, what is it called? The Con, Converse store.
Converse outlet.
Yes, there was lots of the outlet stores. So for shopping purposes, if you like that.
Woohoo!
Now, dealer's room, swag I picked up, nothing really. It's like I said, I've come to the point in my life where if it's not manga, or it's not Lupin the Third, or one of my other little niche things like Blackjack, I really don't go crazy over it anymore.
Not as many snacks available in the dealer's room.
Mm-mm. No, that was a New York Comic Con Anime NYC thing.
Yeah, that's my snackiest favorite.
Yeah, this was out of the dealer's room so far. This is as this year because we only had
there
two
were some
dealer's
great
rooms.
artists.
No, the artist alley is on point as usual. We had a really good artist who draw some chibis, which were fun. They had fun drawing my new hat. Had a blast drawing that hat, and that was what happened for the con. So overall, compared to the cons this year and the ratings right now, I'm going to say panels this year were on point. I think this was just as good as Anime Boston for panel purposes. For the space, I like the Provincial Center. I like the Haynes Convention Center, but I like this one a little more. It's easier to get in, easier to get out. There's not as many issues, and the panel rooms are a little more fun. I do, even though the big panel room at NA Boston's 100 times better than the big panel room in here. But I do like where we had the Insane Manga Challenge. I love the room we had, the 20 manga recommendations. Those are great rooms.
And the big open space with the escalators and the like kind of built around it was just kind of a fun kind of dynamic.
Yeah. As opposed to the circular, like the pillars and that whole trying to find stuff.
Yeah.
I wish we could find the game room. Next year we'll find the game room and we'll compare that to NA Boston.
When we don't have 6 panels in one day, we will find the game room.
I will say that the dealer's room this year, like I said, was not as good as Boston. Boston's dealer's room was better.
Yes.
But the Artist Alley...
On point.
On point. Totally on point. Now, before we go, because we're just about done with this, got a little bit of other news going on, some other little big things going on now. First off, the big thing is that the Spiraken manga review is no longer going to be in New York because... halfway through the con on Friday, someone got a call saying that they got an opportunity to move to another state.
That was me.
So, with the other really bigger news, more important news, hello, Maddie.
Hello, Maddie.
Maddie the Spiraken kitty is here too. Wanted to say hi. So, moving the podcast, no longer going to be in New York. We will.
So why would we be moving the podcast if the Gretta is moving?
So, bigger news, we're engaged.
Woohoo!
I asked her to marry me on Friday before we left. Actually, that's going to be cool. I actually have a picture of it. It's on our Instagram account. If you check out Spiraken, it's on the Instagram account. I'm really proud of it. It's a really good picture.
I said yes.
She said yes. And I'm really happy about that. So when we're getting married, that's up in the air. We will talk about that on another maybe future podcast.
We'll figure it out.
And also, since we're up to we hit episode 300 of the podcast a couple of weeks ago.
Woohoo!
So I'm sorry things have been a little bit crazy with everything. Just a lot of stuff's been hitting me at once. So it's kind of been a little crazy, a little weird. I'm going to try to get back into the game as soon as I can. If I'm a little late, I do apologize. But more importantly than that, we're going to be releasing episodes and other things on this and every other thing possible. So if we're not doing podcasts, we'll be doing streams. We'll be doing stuff on Stardust because we have Stardust accounts. We've been reviewing all these different movies. We did the Infinity War release on there. We did the Ant-Man and Wasp release. We did the Ocean's 8 release, which surprisingly Ocean's 8's
awesome.
Well, we talked about Ocean's 8. And I think that's it. Yeah, right. And now this kitty has taken over my lap because she is a cute kitty. She is a good kitty. Good kitty. Are you happy? The kitty is very happy, and she wants to take all the noise. But with that in mind, thank you guys for listening. We'll let you know about any other counterports. Our next big convention we are going to, or I'm going to, and you're going to meet me there, is Otakon 2018, and that should be kind of exciting because, again, a couple of panels, and it's in DC, and DC is interesting. Supposedly, an Otabrew Prime will be there. Hopefully, I don't miss Otabrew Prime. I'm excited for that. We're going to see. So, anyway, catch you guys next time. This is Xan.
I'm Greta.
Catch you guys next time. We're Gonzo. Bye.